Water, a basic building molecule of life. Water makes around 65% of the human body and over 70% of the whole entire Earth. However, consuming too much water can often result in water intoxication. Water intoxication commonly happens when someone drinks too much water in a short period of time. Healthy kidneys can only secrete 800 to 1,000 milliliters of water per hour. So if your water intake is greater than 800 to 1,000 milliliters per hour, where does the excess water go? The excess water usually builds up in the bloodstream. As more and more water flows into the bloodstream, the excess water begins to dilute the blood. In the osmotic gradient, water will naturally flow to where there are more solutes in order to balance the sodium concentration. Therefore, the water will travel into these cells. That cell will keep expanding until eventually they start to swell. This doesn't cause damage to the soft and flexible tissue like your muscle or fat, but in the brain, it can be deadly. There is barely enough room for the brain itself in the cranium. When water starts to enter your blood vessels near your neurons, those neurons will again start to swell. This is also known as cerebral edema, aka the swelling of the brain. Because of the restricting skull made of hard bone, neurons may burst. This can result in the bleeding of the brain. When the blood flow to your brain is disrupted, this may result in hypoxia, where the brain doesn't get oxygen. Tissues are now dying due to the insufficient amounts of oxygen. This can result in seizures, comas, herniation, and brain death. The dilution of blood that causes these cells to burst and swell is called hyponatremia. This means a low sodium concentration in the blood. Without the appropriate levels of sodium, muscles can't contract. Hyponatremia often happens in marathon runners because they are drinking so much water but are not compensating for it since they won't urinate or sweat as much. Kidneys under physical stress, such as running, secrete vasopressin, an antidiuretic hormone that instructs kidneys to conserve water. Therefore, the kidneys will only secrete 100 milliliters of water per hour. This is only 10% of what actual kidneys can excrete at rest. There is actually no research that shows that you should drink 8 glasses of water a day. Exercise physiologist Tamara Hu Butler explains that the best way to measure our dehydration is to only drink when thirsty.